Data protection in our industry is a big thing, and boards of trustees themselves are also exposed in terms of their meeting packs. Popular legislation has a big impact on our industry, and I'm joined here today by Zeldeen Muller, who's the founder and CEO of inSite Connect, the company that created the AgendaWorx package. Zeldeen, good afternoon.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me. We are delighted to be part of the EBnet conference.
So, Zeldeen, with cybercrime, hitting headlines and data protection being such big, important issues, is it a reality in South Africa?
Well, Chris, Trend Micro's biannual cybersecurity report finds that South Africa is a playground for cybersecurity criminals, ranking in the top 30 most targeted countries for malware attacks. Their 2021 mid-year cybersecurity report highlighted a 47% year-on-year increase in email threats in the first quarter of 2021 globally. It is also interesting to note that South Africa's technology environment tracks that of other countries. So we expect to see the same trend in email attacks here.
So Zeldeen, tell me, have you guys experienced this with your own pension fund clients?
We have seen an increase in email servers of some of our clients being compromised over the last 2 years. The worrying fact is that some of these were large multi-corporates. Trend Micro said that cybersecurity spend amongst its customer base in South Africa has increased by between 30 to 40% year on year. You would not have seen an increase in cybersecurity spend if companies were not experiencing these threats.
So with COVID coming onto the scene, what has been the effect on this aspect?
Before COVID, most employees were office-based, so it was easier to secure servers and manage physical and virtual security. But post-pandemic, the bulk of employees work from home and you need security where they are. That is a whole different scenario in terms of IT security. In fact, it's happened that clients only realized their security was compromised when we appraised them of the fact.
And how does this, because when people work from home, they obviously sometimes use mobile devices. How does it affect that side of things?
If an employee receives work email on a mobile device, that needs to be secured as well. And this is something that companies sometimes forget about, is to secure the mobile devices of employees.
So how does all of this impact on board members of retirement funds?
Oh, Chris, board members receive very sensitive information in board packs, in minutes, as well as board resolutions, especially those for the disbursement of death benefits. They often carry member-sensitive information that needs to be protected in terms of POPIA. If they receive this information in PDF or other formats in their email inboxes, that information is vulnerable if their mailbox is compromised.
Have you guys actually experienced any of your clients being hacked in the recent past, Zeldeen?
In fact, we have. The mailbox of a principal officer of one of our clients was hacked the other day. Luckily, he used AgendaWorx as an electronic board pack, so all the sensitive information of the fund was secure behind our firewall.
So in your opinion, how serious are retirement funds taking this, and are they really doing something about this?
We have definitely seen an increase in awareness of cybersecurity. A growing number of our clients now do everything on AgendaWorx. So previously we found that they would only access AgendaWorx or use AgendaWorx to access agendas and minutes and documents, but now we see that they sign all their board resolutions only on AgendaWorx, so no board resolutions are emailing backwards and forwards between board members. A trend that we see these days as well is that they want to load all their sensitive death claim files with supporting documents such as member ID documents and affidavits directly onto AgendaWorx. So these are also no longer emailed to members of, for instance, the death claim subcommittees. And in this way, they are protecting the fund's POPIA sensitive information. We actually had a request the day before yesterday of a fund who wants to load all their recordings, their meeting recordings that they do on Teams, on AgendaWorx as well, to ensure that it's kept safe and it's not sitting on somebody's computer or on a Dropbox file somewhere. Because remember, everything that's loaded on our tool is encrypted. Interestingly enough, we've also seen a trend of zero trust in companies as well as retirement funds recently. That is not just South Africa. that is globally. And zero trust essentially means that you know and trust all your board members to such an extent to send them files containing POPIA sensitive information into their mailboxes.
Now, just 1 second. I mean, can't boards still access and download documents from for example, from AgendaWorx, and then distribute those, and expose them to risk?
Absolutely, Chris. They can. So they do download documents, and this is a very important question. Our clients all follow the limited access approach, which means we train them to only provide access to those board members who really need it. So this includes access to libraries for subcommittees, death claim files, agendas and minutes to only those individuals who work with those files. And even in a meeting or subcommittee meeting with an agenda, you can limit who sees which agenda items. Also, these tools provide you with audit trails. So if I just look at AgendaWorx, we keep an audit trail of who accessed a particular library and agenda and who downloaded which files. So you have a very good idea as to which board members have accessed which files. Boards also have the option to block any downloads from AgendaWorx, so they can have that request, but it is not always practical, and hence we have not yet had the request to do so.
But surely you can do that for certain documents in your library.
Yes, absolutely. So if boards decide that certain documents should not be downloaded, they can contact us, and then from our side we can block those documents to make sure that they can't download them.
Makes sense, 100%. Let me ask you another question. If people are very lax when it comes to passwords, often using the same password multiple times, just absolutely scary. What happens if a person gets access to one of the board members' passwords? Do they access the system? How does that work?
This is a very good question, and thank you for bringing this up, Chris, as I know this is a huge concern for retirement funds. The answer is no, but I can only comment on the measures we have implemented in AgendaWorx to mitigate this. So we track the browser and the device that you log in from.
Right.
If someone tries to access AgendaWorx via any other browser or device, you will receive 2 warning emails. One will let you know that someone is in fact trying to log into your account, very similar to what you receive if you have an ABSA online account or a NetBank account. And another one will send you an OTP, which you will have to give to the hacker in order to sign into your account.
Right.
From AgendaWorx, we track who has received an OTP because they've logged in from a different device, and we can provide this information to the board if they are worried about recent suspicious activity. I have received a request from a fund who wants to know whether if we receive an OTP request because of someone or a trustee logging in from a different device, whether that can be forwarded to the principal officer or the fund consultant. And that is very possible. So if it's something that funds worry about, that is something that can be done as well.
So given all the sort of potential risks and complications and things of this, what should boards look for when they consider going into a secure board-backed sort of solution?
The most important thing really is whether the electronic board-backed provider prioritizes security. Most do. Questions that can ask include things like, is all the information encrypted? Do they have daily off-site backups? Are CREST certified penetration tests run frequently? That is where an international firm will try to black hat hack or white hack your system. Do they have monthly vulnerability checks? Those are just some of the security measures that should be in place.
Fair enough. Do any of these providers need specific affiliations or certifications, to be able to operate in this industry?
It is not necessary. In fact, that is the way it is for most software, which is sad. But if they have ISO certifications, that's an international operating standard, that will go a long way in providing the board with the comfort that an external international accreditation body has audited and certified the provider. So for example, at AgendaWorx, we are ISO 27001 certified, which focuses specifically on IT security management processes. We also find that some of the funds, as well as some of the consulting houses do annual due diligence on our company as well as on our system, which also provides your board with a level of comfort in terms of security.
Zeldeen, that's been very interesting, and I'd love to chat to you about this a lot more. I think it's a very important step in the evolution of boards, to adopt to this sort of technology. And yeah, I really want to engage with you guys more going forward.
Thank you, Chris. Just a few last words for board members. Do everything you can to keep your fund information secure. Sending information in board packs to board members via email is often a blind spot for retirement funds, and it's important for trustees to just be aware of those risks. Thank you for having me, Chris, and good day.
Pleasure. Thanks, John. Bye-bye.